there, that's that bloke, Richard Croft, Dickie Croft, Dick Croft, Dick Crofty, Richard Croft, Sir Richard Croft, 6th Baronet, not 5th. The 5th is up there in the corridor with his big bald head there. He made it to the ripe old age of 62 after writing Love and Madness. This particular Croft made it to 52 when he topped himself after the death of Princess Charlotte. Now, we're not here to talk about Richard Croft, we're here to talk about me, Olophanes Finter. My job was, I was the librarian here at Croft in between the winter of 1817 and the spring of 1818. There is no historical record of me, despite the National Trust trying to make this out, that I'm making this up, that Olophanes Finter didn't exist. He actually did. There is no historical record of me. All we have is the Psittacic record. The Psittacic record is what's collected in the collected unconscious, where the name Olophanes Finter will resonate with all of you. Olophanes Finter is a demon. He is designed to wreck stuff, really. He's designed by me to make you sad, to make you kind of reflect on historical events and being undone. You know, the National Trust would have you believe that John Robinson, this artist, had painted some pictures, made some stuff up. It's all quirky contemporary art. And that he's just doing it for the money and all that stuff. Yeah, he is. He's doing it for money. He needs money. But what he also needs to do is to let you guys know that Love and Madness are important. They're important to me. I'm just going to plug my microphone in. Anyway. That's better. I was responsible for the death of Richard Croft. What I did was, in this painting, which depicts myself as Olophanes Finter, Richard Croft, you'll like to come and see it. It's up there. It depicts myself as Olophanes Finter and Richard Croft. In the foreground, you can see the drawings of the influence machine, the drawing of the tents which are outside in the field, the book, which is upturned like a tent, and then in the background we've got Sir Richard Croft slumped over a chair, the copy of Love's Labour's Lost, myself in the foreground with a copy of Love's Labour's Lost as well, and I'm reading that to him, and it's going down the wires and the cables and into these big white speakers, and basically telling the story of the dead princess from Love's Labour's Lost. It's telling the story of guilt. It's making somebody with already a fragile, melancholic mind even more over the edge. It's a painting about revenge. My descendants were the Wyatts. Of course, Wyatt famously had his head chopped off by Bloody Mary after the Wyatt purges of the 16th century. And Croft's descendants, of course, also involved in this uprising, get away scot-free. So Olophanes Finter and the rest of the Crofts, the Wyatts rather, changed their names in the 17th century to Finter in order to escape sort of prejudices and the purges which resulted. And Olophanes Finter was born to destroy Richard Croft. I thought the best way to do it was to kind of undermine him. It was to give him this book. It was to make him do it himself. It's to give him the shame of the suicide. It's to undo. It's to wreck. It's to destroy. It's to derail. The National Trust, as I've said, have put a disclaimer saying that these paintings are part of Time Will Tell, a programme of contemporary art at Croft Castle. Sorry, the reason for the microphone is obviously be recording this. It's not sort of PA thing. The character of Olophanes Finter is a work of fiction. Now, this is particularly a sensitive issue. I mean, of course, this is a reenactment. No one in here is stuff and think that I am Olophanes Finter. I'm simply an artist, John Robinson, playing Olophanes Finter. I'm really, you know, whatever. But Holofernes Finta did exist. Holofernes Finta existed not in a corporeal sense, he existed in more of a metaphysical sense. Holofernes is actually a character out of the play Love's Labour's Lost. He appears in Act 3, Scene 2, and he utters the most beautiful phrase actually, which is, after the songs of Mercury come the words of Apollo. So that thing of madness, a divine madness happening, and then sensibility, the right side and the left side of the brain, and all that lovely good thing that we live in now. We've put away our Dionysian urges and now we've resulted in this rather boring existence. This painting depicts Richard Croft, and here he is in his surgeon's gown, which I nicked. And he's, you know, it comes back to Croft, he's like, I've never been a surgeon again, I was responsible for the death of the. There he is in his castle, in his little candle. And there's his postcode, so just in case you need to punch that into your sat nav, get over to Crofty's house. Have a whale of a time here at Croft Castle. Here's Holofernes Finta painting this painting, which is up here. Holofernes Finta spent the best part of the spring, so whilst you're all out enjoying the beer gardens, Holofernes Finta's there in his studio working hard to make that painting. Do you not look at? You know, he's there working hard making these paintings. Why do we make paintings now? What are they for? Holofernes Finta. Yeah, it's a good name. No, it's a metaphysical thing. So saying he doesn't exist, it's like saying that I don't know, Jesus doesn't exist. I'd never say that. What about Jesus? Anyway, so Richard Croft comes back to Croft Castle and he goes for his library. His library's in the entrance, on the left of the entrance. He goes into the library and he picks out a copy of Love and Madness. Now, Love and Madness was written by his father, Sir James Croft, out there in the corridor. And Love and Madness was all about the undoing of this sad, sad, sad life of a princess. So there's this really bizarre thing in the history of Croft Castle where there's this image of the princess who keeps being undone, and Croft does it, Sir Richard Croft does it, even their great-great-great-great-grandfather ends up getting put in the tower by a princess, queen, princess, whatever. So there's just this weird coincidences that keep happening. And, you know, the idea of this commission, time will tell, is that we think about contemporary art and we think about artists giving meaning, but I'm not. I'm just simply struck by this bizarre thing of these rather weird-looking Croft family really getting into dead princesses, suicide, books about metaphysics. It's kind of a cult. I think if I did that and I didn't have a title, I might be banged up for this. But of course, you sit the baronet and get to sort of say any sort of rubbish you want to go on about. Absolutely fine by me. So it's about that time. It's disclaimer time, everybody. Hi, boys and girls. Disclaimer. These